The history of early childhood development. Introduction. When you study the history of early childhood education, you will see how the views about the children and education have changed and developed, and this will help you to get a clearer perspective of the educare profession. In this module, you will look at the roots of early childhood education and the practice of early childhood education from a historical perspective. There are two sectors in this unit. These are Section 1, Understanding Early Childhood Education and the History of Early Childhood Education. Section 2, the Development of Early Childhood Education Perspectives in Namibia. Section 1, Understanding Early Childhood Education and the History of Early Childhood Education are subdivided into three segments. They are definitions, the roots of early childhood education and care, famous people and their influence on early childhood education. Number 1, definitions in early childhood education are as under: 1. Early childhood. 2. Early childhood education, ECE. 3. Early childhood development, ECD. 4. Early childhood development programs. 5. Educare. 1.1 Early childhood. Early childhood is the early stage of growth and development of a child in Namibia. Early childhood is defined as the period from birth to age 8. 1.2 Early childhood education, ECE. Early childhood education generally refers to an educational theory which relates to the teaching of young children from 0 years until the age of about 8 years. In Namibia, early childhood education is defined as the education from 0 to 4 years. 1.3 Early childhood development, ECD. Early childhood development is a period from birth to 8 years old, when children experience remarkable physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth. This period is crucial because it lays the foundation for future learning. 1.4 Early childhood development programs. Early childhood development programs consist of planned activities designed to promote the emotional, mental, spiritual, moral, physical, and social development of children from birth to 8 years old, as well as provide support to families and communities. 1.5 Educare. The word educare represents the individual who has received the education and understands the concept of quality infant care. For example, a well-trained caregiver like you, after completing the certificate in ECD, be able to provide quality care and education in a safe and stimulating environment appropriate for children from 0 to 6 years of age. Pre-primary education. Pre-primary education is the education provided for children between the ages of 5 and 6 in preparation for primary school, year at which a child is expected that have turned 7 in the first year of receiving pre-primary school. Pre-primary education enhances a child's success in formal schooling and plays an important role in the total development of a child. The aim of the pre-primary school is to provide a strong foundation from which children can continue to become active participants in lifelong learning. You will also learn about the beliefs, ideas, and accomplishments of people who have devoted their lives to the education of young children. In pre-primary education, a child's development is closely monitored and special attention is given to a child's school readiness. Early childhood education makes a child's transition to pre-primary education smooth and easy. There are various aspects to consider when thinking about a child's education. The environment should be looked at. Is the environment safe, stimulating, or appropriate to educate children? The child's development stage should be kept in mind. A 3-year-old will not be able to catch a ball, but a 6-year-old will be able to catch a ball. Two, the roots of early childhood education and care. Traditional African societies are rooted in the family. Societies refer to a group of people that shares the same opinions and live in the same geographical or social territory. The basic unit of a society includes the nuclear family. A nuclear family consists of a mother, father, and children, as well as the extended family, which consists of grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, nephews, nieces, etc. The integration of the child into the tribe is one of the basic aspects of education with which a family should provide the child. Due to rapid socio-economic changes, especially after independence, the traditional ways of bringing up children have undergone many changes. Social structures, technological changes, and migration to urban areas have loosened the ties of the extended family. Three, famous people and their influence on early childhood education. In Namibia, we can learn from the history of early childhood education that missionaries played an important role and contributed to our understanding of what is the best way for young children to learn. Let's now have a look at famous people who were involved in early childhood development and the impact they have made through their involvement. 3. Famous people and their influence on early childhood education are as follows. A. Martin Luther, 1483 to 1546. B. Jean Piaget. A. Martin Luther, 1483 to 1546. Martin Luther was a German priest and professor of theology. Although he composed only a few works that treat education directly, his other works had an impact on education. Martin Luther emphasized the necessity of establishing schools to teach children to read. Luther translated the Bible into German, marking the real beginning of teaching and learning in people's native language. In addition, the Lutheran and the Roman Catholic churches in urban areas provided nursery schools for black children. Learning was based on singing of hymns and enforcing morals and values according to the Bible. Luther also believed that education should start at home and that it was the duty of parents to teach their children obedience. He admonished parents to nurture their children while at the same time inspiring parents through several scriptures such as Psalm 78, 5-7 to tell their children about God. He realized that some parents might not be able to educate their children and stated that public school teachers should be engaged for that purpose. Today, literacy for all is a national priority, regardless of gender or socio-economic status. Furthermore, the importance of being able to read is recognized worldwide. We will now look at people who believed that children are the center of learning, starting with Jean Pinget. B. Jean Pinget. Jean Pinget believed that children learn through play. His belief is centered on the power of play. Play meets the physical, intellectual, language, emotional, and social needs piles of children. The approach of Jean Pinget and others aims to involve children in acquiring competence via learning through discovery. What is Pinget's cognitive development theory all about? Pinget's theory explains how individuals think, understand, and learn. Pinget believed that intelligence is the cognitive or mental process by which children acquire knowledge. Pinget applied the concept of adaptation to the mental level, using it to explain how children change their thinking and grow cognitively as a result of encounters with parents, teachers, siblings, peers, and the environment. A. Constructivism in play. Play allows children to be actively involved in their environments and to think and learn. Play provides the opportunity for children to experience and learn through all kinds of materials, water, sand, clay, indoor and outdoor equipment, puzzles, blocks, toys, musical instruments, etc. B. Constructivism and cognitive development. The constructivist process is defined in terms of the individual's organizing, structuring, and restructuring of experience in an ongoing lifelong process. Children, through activity and interaction with others, continuously organize, structure, and restructure experiences in relation to existing themes or mental images of thought. C. Friedrich Froebel. Friedrich Froebel believed that children need to have play time in order to learn to live in harmony with others and nature. He saw the place for children to grow and learn from their social interaction with other children. Friedrich Froebel wrote a book based on his theories and practices concerning the kindergarten environment. Theories practices concerning the book was banned by the German community. They did not believe children needed to play in order to learn. They thought his theories were outrageous. Through Froebel, the first kindergarten was established to help children from poor backgrounds. Froebel believed that development occurs primarily through self-activity and play. D. Rudolf Steiner. Rudolf Steiner, 1861 to 1925, was the founder of Waldorf education. He was interested in the spiritual dimension of education, and he developed many ideas for educating children of factory workers. Waldorf education operates on a number of essential principles: anthroposophy, respect for development, music and movement, nurturing imagination, providing for diversity and disability. E. Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori, the founder of the Montessori approach to education, was born in Italy in 1870. As a teenager, she was determined to become an engineer, but later abandoned that idea in favor of studying medicine. Graduating as Italy's first female medical practitioner, she embarked on a career in mental health. The Montessori educational approach is based on two important development needs of children. Number one, the need for freedom within limits. The second one, a carefully prepared environment which guarantees exposure to materials and experiences. Children are to be respected differently from adults and as individuals who differ from each other. Children possess an unusual sensitivity and intellectual ability to absorb and learn from their environment. Today, the Montessori method is being used widely by many parents for a number of reasons. These include orderliness, independent children, self-directed learning, a calm environment, children at the center of the learning process. The role of the Montessori teacher is therefore to respect children and their learning, make children the center of learning, encourage children's learning, observe children, prepare environments for learning, introduce learning materials and demonstrate lessons. The Montessori learning environment is divided into different areas: practical life, sensory materials called sensorial materials by Maria Montessori, academic materials. Let's have a look at what the child learns in these different areas. A. Practical life. The prepared environment of the practical life area emphasizes basic everyday motor activities such as walking from place to place in an ordinary manner, arraying objects such as trays and chairs, greeting a visitor, learning self-care skills, B. Sensory materials. These materials, which Montessori called sensorial materials, are designed to train the use of the senses to support learning. C. Academic materials. These materials teach mathematics, language, writing, reading, geography, and science. D. Montessori instructional practices. Montessori provides an integrated curriculum in which children are actively involved in manipulating concrete materials across the curriculum. Writing, reading, science, maths, geography, and the arts. In Namibia, the Montessori approach is used in many towns. Montessori teachers are trained on various aspects. One of these is to develop theme boxes that provide the opportunity for educators to use practical materials during instructional practice according to themes prescribed in the curriculum. For example, if the theme of animals is used, a variety of cardboard animals, puzzles, and related materials are developed and collected for use during activities. Here is a list of some of the Montessori schools in Namibia. Little Penguins Montessori Pre-Primary School, Acacia Montessori, Bright Star Montessori, the Wake Up Center. Early Childhood Education (ECE) has developed, expanded, and changed tremendously since professionals like Pinget, Froebel, and Maria Montessori conducted their research and worked with disadvantaged children living in deprived environments. Thankfully, the leaders in our country have realized that ECE has many advantages for young children, especially disadvantaged children. They have developed a relevant and internationally held program for ECD which focuses on children from 3 to 4 years of age as well as preschool children.